make something to eat. Step out the house fresh when I go and get the bag. Popping bottles, popping tags. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. Swag, 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 swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. Swag, 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 swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. Swag, 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 swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. Swag, 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 swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag.
What's going on, social media fans? We're back on the show, guys, and I'm your host, Ugn-b, and today we have our girl, Kimberly J, Ardison, in the building with us. Hey,
applause.
Yes, all of that. We got a little prompts in there to tell us what to do. But yes, my girl, Kim, look, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Read what it say. I was born by the river in a little tent.
So
and just like that river, I've been running ever since.
Hallelujah.
Yes. But I was born August the 31st. Yes, now that year is unnecessary. I am from H-Town. I am an amazing actress, known for my appearances on several stage plays, including working with you on Brothers, where I did get the Best Actress Award. They was not ready for that.
They weren't ready.
And you want to tell them about? Okay, I was on Ray in 2004, and then I was in PYT Pretty Young Thing. Yes, check that out. That's on YouTube. And then go ahead. Do you?
So she's currently working on a movie with me called Keep On Lovin'.
Yes,
which is written and produced by the magnificent Frederick Alonzo, and the list goes on and on.
And the list goes on and on.
So as she mentioned, I was supposed to be mentioning. You probably know her from the 2004 blockbuster hit Ray. So she played a Raelette.
I didn't let Ray though.
You didn't let Ray though. Y'all, I'm so excited to have her on here. So I got to set the scene of how we actually came to know each other.
Okay.
So as she mentioned,
picture it.
Picture it. It was 2004.
Okay. No, it wasn't 2004.
It was 2004. That's when I met you. Okay. That's when I met you. You
really?
You didn't know me, but I met you in 2004. Because I used to watch this movie Ray religiously, and so me and my cousin, rest in peace, Trey. Me and Trey used to watch this movie all the time, and so I never would have thought that I would have actually met you. That's crazy. When we fast forward to like what 2013, 14, 15,
okay, yes,
something like that, somewhere there. And so we on the set of the stage play for the Brothers, and when I seen you act, it was off the whip, like the first day, because y'all know I ain't had no experience in acting or anything like that. So whenever I go into the set or whatever, I'm on at a rehearsal, I'm just sitting there in awe, like I'm sitting back in my seat, like. Where the popcorn at? Because they'd be so good. And so I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this girl. I'm like, dang, I'm sitting up here reading like the cat went over, and she like, the cat went over.
Come on, cat, go over. Hey, diddle, the cat. And the fiddle.
So I'm sitting there looking at her, and I'm like, dang, this girl is talented. But I didn't know who she was. It didn't ring a bell, that she was in this movie Ray, until we was doing some research. We was doing research. Somebody had mentioned that she was in the movie Ray, and I was like, not Ray, not my Ray. 2004 Ray. So yeah. So we went back and I started researching. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So yes, that is where I first knew you. But then we did later on meet in the movie. I mean, the stage play, The Brothers.
And he was phenomenal.
Thank you.
He was the lead character, and he worked. He made us work when we came on stage. That's okay, because I was going to bring it to him. And he had an attitude with me, like he didn't like me.
So silly. So you said I was bodying that role. I made y'all work?
Yes, first of all, you came in there. He got this little Suge Knight image going on or whatever. And then coming in there, he big boss. That's fine. And they're like, oh yes, we love him because he does all these shows and he come in there knew all his lines. I ain't know none of my lines.
Look, I do not play when it comes to being on set. I told you, I'm gonna tell y'all in one of these videos that I recorded. I go in there ready and prepared to go. I ain't got no time to be playing because y'all know I be sweating. I don't want to be sweating on stage.
I understand. So he knew all his lines, and I knew none. Zip, zero, zilch. I knew the concept of the play, and I can do great readings off. I know how to read. So they come in there, he off book. They're like, oh, he's off book. He's this Greek god. I said, oh, okay. Bet. Got something for you.
And I'm sitting up here with an A-lister and didn't even know it, y'all.
I wish I was an A-lister. Amen. But he comes in here like, yes, I know all my lines. Your turn. What page is he on? What page is he on? I'm going to give it to you.
You are too funny. So we're going to talk a little bit about your acting career and everything. So let me ask you, how did you actually get into acting? Has this always been a dream of yours?
I think I don't know if it was necessarily a dream or something that kind of just naturally happened and just naturally progressed. Uh-huh. So I remember my very first stage play was in elementary school. I went to Roberts University Elementary School. And I was in I did 42nd Street. I did the Electric Sunshine Man. I did the Nutcracker, the one with the word. And I was like, I kind of like this. Then I went to Welch Middle School. And that's before it was the Welch that it is today. Amen. And I did Martin Luther King. No, 42nd Street was in middle school, I think. And it's just, something that kept naturally progressing. And then I went to high school. Shout out to Ross Shaw Sterling Raiders. And then I immediately fell in love with the theater program. Oddly enough, my theater teacher from Sterling, Miss Dupree, Yvonne Phillips Dupree, she is actually my mentor to this day. Okay. Shout out to Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated because she was also my mentor for AKA. You see the pink and green? I see the pink and green. Yes.
Is that the ski week?
That's the ski week, but don't disrespect it. Don't put it down. Don't
okay. I'm going to edit that part out.
That's You got it. No. But it's something that kind of, it's not necessarily a dream if it's something that you do all the time. Mm-hmm. And if it's something that you are living, every day, you don't have to necessarily dream about it because it's something that you are constantly a part of and that you're constantly doing.
That's dope. So let me ask you, how did you get into the movie Ray? Like, how did that come about?
So my major, I went to Dillard University, HBCU in New Orleans, Louisiana. I give all the shouts out. Nolans, the Dillard University. And my major was, so backtrack, when I was in high school, I wanted to major in communications. But I got a scholarship in theater. Mm-hmm. And so they were saying, I was like, well, I still want to do communications. So they said, well, you can minor in communications and major in theater. So I did. And so I'm a theater major. So this is who I am. This is ultimately, again, it's not a dream if you're living it and doing it every day. And so there was an agent that was scoping out in New Orleans at that time. There were several productions that was going on. Double Jeopardy was filmed in New Orleans around that time. Mm-hmm. I remember working as an extra. Don't ask me what scene. I don't know, so I don't think I made it. And things of that nature. But a casting director came. I went in. It was my senior year. I auditioned. I didn't hear anything. I went back in and auditioned again. I auditioned like several times for this role. At the time, I was also doing a stage play called Pearly at school on campus. Ain't God good?
Ain't he good?
Again, you ain't got to dream about it if you're doing it every day.
Hallelujah.
So, and I was working at Banana Republic as well. So I've always been a hustler. Mm-hmm. And I got in, and that's when I got to audition with Regina King. That's when I met Anjanou Ellis. And Regina King and I hit it off, straight from the beginning. I remember she told me every day, it's hot down here for no apparent reason. Like, it's just hot. You walk outside and it's hot. I said, I'm just like Houston. I'm used to this. So, it was awesome. It was my senior year in college. getting ready to graduate. I was filming this movie, and it was an opportunity of a lifetime. I've also done Dreamgirls. However, when you watch the movie versus the script versus what happened, and editing is interesting. Mm-hmm. I look like a featured extra on there, but God is good. The residual check is wonderful. I did some background work on the movie Norbit. I've done an HR Block commercial.
Wait a minute, Norbit! You did some background work on Norbit?
Yes, so the choir scenes that they had at the church, I did background work for Norbit.
I did not. That is one of my favorite movies. Why you didn't tell me this when I was doing all my research on you?
That's what happens when you stalk and you don't ask the person themselves.
So you was on the...
It was background. Background means that's it. You singing in the background. Singing in the background.
You're so silly. So you was actually in the scenes where they were singing?
And with the little choir, yes.
Oh my God, y'all, we just go find that.
No, because you probably won't even see me. I had on like one of them good wigs that day.
Your hair is so nice.
You said, come on, braid ministry. Yes. Come on,
braid. You woke up like that?
I woke up like this.
Hey.
It's that COVID ministry. She with these COVID braids. And then, because I lived in Los Angeles for about 8 years. And, I went out there for acting. I used to work as a background extra for the TV show. I guess I'm dating myself when I say this. But ER, as one of their featured backgrounds. Because, once you do a movie, you pay a little money to become a union. Hallelujah. You can live off a union background salary. Real good with 14
tell us
roommates.
More about that, like, for real. Like, tell us more about that, because for the people that's out there that maybe want to get into the acting industry, like I'm telling you, I know just enough to be dangerous, because I literally kind of just rolled into this. Y'all know my story. I tell y'all my story, but yeah, how do you get into the union? Okay, so it's called Screen Actors Guild.
But here in Texas, it's a tricky situation. Because a lot of things that's filmed in Austin, they're non-union work. Mm-hmm. And so you can get more non-union work than you do union work. However, when I lived in Los Angeles, it was union or bust. And everybody's trying to strive to get their union card. And God blessed me when I lived in New Orleans to work on this film, and the union card was right there. It was a blessing unto me. So, after I got that good residual check, hallelujah, I paid to join the union, and it's been a blessing. It's not what it used to be, because when I joined, it was before SAG and AFTRA had joined, and I was a part of SAG, and I was a part of AFTRA. I joined that when I was doing kind of more television stuff. Mm-hmm. When I was working background, like Nickelodeon shows, or when I did a couple of commercials. That's when I joined AFTRA. And then the two merged together. The two became one. So I got in it on the discount deal. Now, 10 years, more than 10, 18 years later, I'm dating myself. I can't say I'm 25 no more.
So, oh my goodness. So this is dope. This is some dope content, some dope information. So let me ask you some questions. I got to ask all the behind the scenes questions. So how was it working with the incomparable Jamie Foxx?
You should ask Jamie Foxx how was it working with me.
Really?
No, I'm just teasing. I
You're
just
so silly. I'm not just
because everybody else asking how was it working with Jamie Foxx. Ask Jamie Foxx how was it working with me. No. Jamie Foxx is a dedicated human being to his craft, and I was mesmerized because when he was filming, he was blind. He was on set blind. Mm-hmm. He was doing his performance so he could be genuine and stay true to the character. And that takes a lot to embody the character, to play any role, and to actually seek to actually get the genuineness behind who the person is. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to play a role, and it's one thing to embody and become the character. Mm-hmm. And to become that person. And he truly did that. So that was just phenomenal to watch and to be a part of.
And so you said you and Regina King, y'all instantly hit it off.
She's a wonderful person. Cool person. I actually auditioned for something for her years later. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But she remembered me, and she was very sweet. Whatever question you had, her work ethic as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. to this day, though, my favorite character of her is actually the Boondocks.
Oh, really?
You know, she plays all those voiceovers of those characters. I love her.
Now, have you ever done any voiceovers?
I have done voiceovers, but my voiceovers have been as a commercial.
Okay.
You know, I would love to get into voiceovers. That's actually on my bucket list. I would love to sit in a room with the headphones on in the studio.
That is so dope. Can you now look?
Don't put me on the spot. The answer is no. Talk to my agent. Hold on.
You know what? I'm not supposed to play with
you.
you.
Oh wait, I don't have one.
I'm not supposed to play with you today.
Don't let me have no fun. Yes.
So you do have an agent?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay, so a lot of the stuff that you're doing, like now, the movies and the plays and stuff that you're working on, you just kind of booking your own work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's dope. So then, kind of fast forward to now, recent times. So after we did the stage play, The Brothers, which you was phenomenally. We
That was 2016.
2016.
Yes, because that's the first year I started teaching high school. I started teaching school. Sorry.
Yes, so she's also a teacher. So we got like paralleling backgrounds because we're both in education. We both do acting. We both fab. You know what I'm saying?
It was destined from the start.
Destined from the start. All right. So fast forward, we then on the set of Keep On Lovin'. And so I had shot my little scenes or whatever. I had no idea that you were actually even in the movie. So guys, that's another thing that you got to pay attention to, because a lot of people be like, oh, well, how's the movie going to end? And how you don't know that information because you don't know who you're working with until you're working with them. Stage plays are completely different from actually acting in a movie. So on the stage play, you got everybody around the table reading their lines, everybody rehearsing together. You got to know the play from the front to the back, from the rooter to the tutor, and then you guys rehearse on a consistent basis, so you get to know the characters and stuff. But whenever you're on a movie set, that's what I've had to learn, is that it is not that way. You have your
come in, do your line, do your job, you good,
and out.
You may never see the other people that is in the actual movie. You may never see them.
Exactly. So let me ask you this. So going back to Ray, did you ever see Kerry Washington? Because I don't think y'all were in any scenes together. No, we didn't do any scenes together.
Never saw her.
Ain't that crazy? That's crazy. But anyway, so we on the set, and then we finally had a scene together in Keep On Lovin'. That scene is everything. I'm gonna have to ask Frederick if he gonna let me use it in this production. But that scene was everything. So you can
get the still shots from it. Get the still shots from it, because I've been waiting. I'm waiting for that to come out, because that scene right there,
that scene, baby, y'all, it's crazy. And we had to shoot that. It's a
dinner scene.
Over and over. Remember that night? We had to shoot it over and over again.
Somebody
till like
couldn't
3
get
o'clock
it right.
in the morning.
Somebody couldn't get it right. We're not gonna go there.
Yeah, so we sitting there. We had to do this scene till probably 3 o'clock in the morning. And it was a dinner scene, like she said. And so we had food that was sitting there. And so they kept having to pour our food. The food was cold. We keep having to eat the food and pretend like we're eating and all of this stuff. And then she had a scene where she's throwing, somebody put water
was thrown on me. They didn't know no better.
So water was thrown on her in the scene. So we kept having to shoot that scene over and over again.
Child, they threw water on the person that was next to me.
I had water on me.
They threw water behind me.
It was so.
Then we had to choreograph me going after the part. That was the good part right there. You thought the water throwing was good? No. It's the after.
Oh my goodness.
Amen. Like, we still waiting on Keep On Lovin'.
We still waiting, but we just finished. I just did my scene. I think my last scene a couple of weeks ago on the boat. So if you go to my social media pages and all that stuff, that's my last scene that I had to shoot for this movie.
Okay. Mm-hmm. See, you never know what happened.
But I mean, it's just, you absolutely
and it's right. A phenomenon. I cannot wait until.
Oh, I can't wait. This thing is gonna be so good.
To Frederick Alonzo. Mm-hmm. His wife is so sweet, Monica. She works in Ugn-b as well. She is also a member of Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Look, Monica, if you watching this, who
Monica?
Who this, Monica? Who this? That's the inside, because she texted me the other day. She was like, "Are you coming to the set?" And I said, "Who this?" So I get that. She's like, "Who this?" I say, "Mm-hmm." So let me ask you this: what is your favorite type of character to play?
I've always wanted to play a villain. And that's the funny thing about us working together on that play, The Brothers, is I finally got to play like the bad character. I've always wanted to be like a Cruella DeVille type of person, you know.
Give me some Cruella DeVille. Give me some.
I told you, let me act it on the.
Come on.
Watch the reel from the brothers. I don't think we got, but they didn't film.
They didn't film it. The filming didn't. It didn't go through. It was like a piece of it that wasn't filmed, so we never got the footage from the brothers. But that was a phenomenal. But let me tell you about this. I'm almost glad they didn't. Oh, Miss Annie gonna probably kill me for putting this out there. So okay, so when we're working on stage, we're working with AWJ. It's in our contract that we cannot be on our phones and all of this stuff. And so Annie Johnson is about her business, which I love. I love it. So I have the same concept that she does when it comes to the work ethic, but. We kind of messed up a little bit. Remember, we was behind the scenes, behind stage, and we was over there shooting pictures and videos, and got out there and what was it? I think one of us forgot our lines or something. Desmond, they was trying to fish for his line.
Oh yes.
But the reason she tells you not to do all of that stuff behind the scenes and to stay in your character, like you can't. If me and you playing villains or something, or we opponents or something, we can't be all friendly behind the scenes because it's not going to be authentic whenever we go out on the stage. So we didn't listen, and that was a lesson learned for me to always remain in character. Now, when I go behind the scenes, I don't talk to nobody. I am just there to deliver my lines and deliver this story, and then that's it. So
I'm a little different. It just depends. It depends because I do believe in being in the moment. It depends on what type of character that you are. And the type of training that you do. So if you think about the Stanislavski method in acting is basically you do things to become the character. That's when you go behind and you do your research, and embodying the character. I'm a firm believer of, and see the brothers for me when we did that, I broke all the rules of everything that I teach, all the training, because normally when I'm like if it's a deep role for me, if it's a sad role for me, I'm sitting in the corner and I'm focusing. But that was a fun play for me. That was fun. That was lighthearted.
Do you remember any of your lines from that?
Heck to no.
Oh, let me straighten something out with you. You see, I know you want my husband. And I know he's been hitting that for quite some time now. But honey, he's not going anywhere. Oh no. As a matter of fact, I gave him permission to have you. You see, every now and then likes to be entertained. And from what I hear, you're pretty good at it. Tracy, if you don't get out of my face, shut the hell up! I am talking.
Not one line.
I'm surprised that you even remembered all of the productions that you've been in.
Oh yeah, you remember the work that you do. But I had fun. I came out there. I got to be. I could turn that thing on just like that. Boop. And especially you get a character voice and you do your character mannerisms. Because mine was this. I remember that.
Yeah.
And that helped me. Oh, I love that. I want to do another evil character.
Remember you came up and you said, "I'm here to take my men to lunch."
Is that how I said it? I just, eyes. I give you eyes all day long.
Give us
eyes.
eyes.
Like you short.
Take them glasses off and give us eyes. If you a G, you'll do it.
First of all, I'll tell you about peer pressure. One thing I don't give into is peer pressure.
That's what I got, y'all. That's the shameless plug. So on my show, like when y'all see the opening credits and everything, I say if you a G, you subscribe. That is a shout out to my cousin Quansha, because when we were kids, hey Quansha, when we were kids, she used to always be like, if you a G, you'll do it. And our little stupid self be like, I'm a G, I'ma do it. Peer pressure.
Is that GG? Is that that G stand for? I'm a G.
I'm a G.
First of all, I don't give into peer pressure. If you don't do it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I guess that I'm first of all, I'm Kimberly J. Ardison. All day, every day. But upon your request, if I'm a G, I'll do it.
Give us eyes.
What kind of eyes you looking for?
What kind of eyes you got?
You want some eyes?
Shake him is a fool with it. We so silly. Oh my goodness, you are too much. I see you giving me eyes. I can give them right back at you.
Look at him. He finally washed his face and got that little white stuff off.
Girl, it's probably on there. It's probably on there.
But it was fun to watch. Nah, got it.
Look, let me make sure I'm good.
Okay, God, because these glasses are prescription. They cute, but they prescription all day, every day. I can't see nothing.
But yeah, so tell us a little bit more about like your calling to go into education.
Okay, so I worked in oil and gas. I moved back to Houston, started working for H&R Block, which I still work part-time for. I also went and got my master's in...
What jobs don't you have?
I'm a hustler, baby.
Oh, wait.
And then I got my master's in human resource development from the University of Houston. And I worked in instructional design and leadership training and development at different oil and gas companies. And then that is when the oil and gas industry said, it was kind of like the times are right now. And everyone had been telling me, you should go into education, you should try it, you would be great. And I was like, I don't want to be a school teacher. I don't know. And then kind of when the industry was starting to plummet, I registered for Texas Teachers. And I... kind of dragged along with the classes, this, that, and the other. And then I remember it was July 4th, and you know how much I love to travel. I was on a cruise ship. And we had docked somewhere. I checked my email, and they said the company I was working for at the time, they just filed for bankruptcy. I said, wait, what? Well, I'm on vacation? And when I got back, I had gotten let go.
So you got fired on your day off, Craig?
I got fired on my day off.
We were just talking about this the other day with another guest.
Well, no, they couldn't find me on my day off the way, so I came back. So I got all that vacation time. Hallelujah.
Oh, my God.
And so I came back and I said, okay, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and try this teaching thing. I literally was hired before I finished my Texas Teachers program.
Wow. That was kind of like me. I started teaching for higher ed. I was hired. I had to get my, this teaching certification thing. And I had to hurry up and finish my degree within the summer, within a couple of weeks. And then I finished that and then went into the classroom the very next week. No formal training or anything.
I mean, I had gone a little bit of training, a little bit of it. I was piecemealing it together okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to do that. And it was some days I was getting irritated on the job. For real. I was like, I'm about to go into education. I got something for y'all. Y'all want me to stay here all night and do what? And God was like, okay, well, guess what? I'm glad you didn't went to all that stuff. And now I am a theater arts teacher, an instructor, a director, and I love
your
it.
Your students live off of your energy.
I'm one of those teachers, either you love me or you hate me. There's some that hate me, and there's some that love to hate me, and there's some, But I can say that I've been successful. I was middle school. My very first year, we did UIL middle school competition. I placed third. And I said never again. I told my students that year, I said, if you trust me and trust the process, I guarantee you, we're not coming out there. We're going to place. We're not coming out there. The next 2 years, we came out in first place for that middle school competition.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then I transitioned on to high school last year. The school that I am currently at, the high school, I was nervous about going to high school, but I was being pushed out because I didn't want to be there no more. And so I went to high school, and this high school that never advanced in UIL won that play competition in 17 years. We advanced. We did the play called the Greek show, it's not mythology, but we did Medea. And one thing is that we recast that show 2 weeks before we went up. The kids wasn't giving it to me. The kids was not vibing. I was talking with my co-director, and he was like, "Well, we should give them we finna recast everybody. Everybody got to re-audition for their role. Everybody. They relearn their lines, and they gave them the to know that, one, I have a winner's mentality, and you need to have the winner's mentality too. And you don't come in here half-stepping.
That's right.
Number two, that your role is not your role just because it was given to you. You still have to work for it. And baby, we recast that thing. Some people lost their role. Some people found themselves. Amen. Because they really wanted that role. We advanced out of the first round, so we got out of zone, and then we got out of district, and we advanced to by district. We were supposed to go up against the Klein schools, and then here we are in the midst of COVID-19.
Wow.
So it had been 17 years since my high school had even gotten out of the first round of University Interscholastic one-act play competition. So, I'm so proud of them.
You brought them on over.
It was a joint effort. I have a wonderful co-director, but I don't play no games.
All right, so we're going to ask you a couple of questions. These are random questions, okay?
Okay.
I don't need you to be looking. I don't need you to be looking. Okay, I don't need you to be looking at this. I'm going to put it over here like this to the side.
Turn this water around so we don't get nobody
this
no
the thing.
advertising.
You so, so silly. You are a true actress and a true professional in this entertainment game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Okay, it's about 10 questions, and you have to give me the first thing that comes to your crazy mind, because your mind.
Oh, this has to be PGG. Okay, I'm put that.
Well,
hat
not
on.
really.
Put that hat on. I got it.
know,
I'm a teacher.
I just want my nieces and my nephews and my babies to be able to watch this later. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right. So question number one.
Number one.
So you recently had a birthday. What is one of the best birthday gifts that you've ever received?
Last year, my significant other, and it wasn't necessarily a gift. It was, I really wanted to go. My parents was in Vegas. You know how much I love to travel. Mm-hmm. And it was a thoughtfulness behind it. Like, we couldn't go to Vegas, but he picked me up. I packed a bag. We went to Louisiana. We went to the Golden Nugget. I had never been to the Golden Nugget.
Okay.
I didn't know it. And so it was the gift of he heard me, mm-hmm. and he listened to what I said, and he wanted to provide an awesome experience for me despite me not being able to go to Vegas. And I had a blast at the Golden Nugget. If it, shout out to those who are in Lake Charles. I was like, dang, if it wasn't COVID, and I saw what's that little Kevin Wong, Ken Wong. Ken Wong, you know Ken Wong from The Doctor, the comedian who's on The Mask. Anyway, he performed. Go find him. He was performing that weekend. I just it was a good time, and it was a gift that he gave to me. Gave me money to go to the casino every day. I was like, come on,
blessing.
Big Papa.
Big Papa, all the Junior Mafia. Yo, look, I still got a little hood in me. Okay, let's go to the next question.
Next question, number 2.
So, what is something that no one knows about you that you're going to share on this show with us today?
If you don't know it, then you don't need to know it. That no one knows that I'm going to share on this show. Mm-hmm. Next.
All right. We're going to go to the next one.
I'm going to come back to that. Okay.
I'm going to come back to that one. So finish the sentence. I feel my best when I
have a face full of makeup on.
Really?
Oh, I love it. I don't wear makeup often, but you know how you get that little oomph? Or I feel my best when I'm performing. Like when I'm on stage. Okay. Oh, and the lights hit you. And it's that rush and that vibe. Feeling that you get. Like I don't know if I ever really experienced, maybe I experienced stage fright as a child, but it's just like the hush of the crowd and like the lights are on you and the energy that you feel. Yeah. Ooh, I love being on stage.
I did not feel that until my first play, of course, with The Gentleman. The lights are so bright that you can't see people, but you can see kind of like the little images out there. And so the curtains open, and I was just like, all right, let's do or die, let's do it. And so I don't know. It's the energy that you said. It's like that character takes over. You just in the moment. It's nothing else that matters at that moment than just being there and delivering this character. So yes, I do definitely feel you. Let me ask you a question, because I had a question about this. Okay, so I was watching the movie Ray.
Is this number 3?
No, this ain't number 3. Okay. I was watching the movie Ray, and it was a clip. It was a scene in there where you guys were on stage when he was singing. I forgot the song that he was singing, but I think it was Gold and White or something like that. And y'all were on stage, and he was singing. So, like, was that an actual audience when y'all were on stage, or was that you guys standing on stage and then y'all had a green screen?
No, all of it was filmed in front of. Now they were all background, but it was actual audience.
And actually, like a whole.
We were in I think it was maybe the Orpheum Theater in New Orleans. I know we shot a lot in there, but it was an actual audience.
Oh my God.
Yes. Okay, so we had on gold dresses. Yes. It was gold and white.
So y'all know that was actually, because I always wonder about that. Because like, you know, sometimes you can do like the stage and everything, and then you can put a green screen and you have the audience on the green screen, and then it looks like
that was an actual audience.
Shut your mouth. All of those people?
Background extras. Baby, they was working. The city of New... Come, let me see this watch. This rose gold. I like this. I'm sorry. Edit that out. You know, pink is my favorite color. My birthday just passed.
It just go with my skin tone.
I like it.
She's so silly. You know, rose gold everything. You know,
I like it. You know, I'm a Pearl girl. I was a Pearl girl before I was a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. But just love pearls and like rose gold. See, and I just...
Yes.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Next,
Okay,
number 3.
Yeah, we're gonna go to number 3. Okay, so no, this is number 4. You already said you feel best when.
Okay.
Because you got to go back to the other question.
Number 4.
All right, so number 4. So if I wasn't scared to, I would blank.
Go bungee jumping.
Bungee jumping. Really?
Wait, it's the same thing as skydiving?
No, bungee is when you on that cord. Skydiving, you just kind of free falling and then
I would
you
go
hit
skydiving. I would.
Oh my God! Ain't nobody got time.
I want to. I love jet skiing. I've gone parasailing. But as I've gotten older, I'm a daredevil, but my heart is not. So you know how you go on that roller coaster, and that roller coaster just goes straight down. I was also like, let's go on that roller coaster, but my body is like, you want to do what? First of all, your hips can barely fit inside of this little thing. And your chest, it won't even come all the way down to secure you.
Oh,
and then second of all, as we tipped down, my body was like, no.
Question number 5.
Number 5.
All right, who is your celebrity crush?
Lisa Bonet's husband, Thor.
Really?
That man is beautiful. It was even more beautiful when you see how he loves her. But him as Thor? Yuck.
So silly. All right. So, we talked about scenes and everything. So someone you would love to do a love scene with, who and why?
Thor.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I don't even know. A love scene with?
Have you ever done a love scene before, like in any of your? Really? Like love making scenes or anything like that? Are you completely opposed to that in your acting?
I'm fat. You can't be putting me in no negligee.
You know what?
You might get an extra blessing you ain't asked for. Like they're gonna be in the editing room. Like, wait, how do we edit that? Like,
look, if I do one, I'm getting a body double. You hear me?
Cut. Insert.
Get him in there. Get him in. So
you get a little thigh.
Oh my gosh, you were so funny. But who would you do a scene like that with?
You know, my boyfriend is a former actor. I would love to do that.
Who is your man? Let me know.
You know, he don't like for the world to know. I think he's ashamed of me. We've been together 2.5 years. And he want to do me like Chadwick Boseman did his, girlfriend and then go, be undercover. I don't know. I'm not ashamed of him, though. Amen.
Yeah, we ain't going to put him out there?
I'm not going to put him out there today.
Okay. Question? So we talked about a little thigh out, right?
Just a little thigh.
So what is your favorite body part on you?
My face.
Your face? Okay. All right, cool.
My ears. I love my ears. That's not arbitrary as that. I thank God for my ears, for the ability to hear. I thank God for all my teeth. My teeth is my favorite body part because it allows me to chew the good food.
Yeah, hallelujah, that he blessed us with.
My favorite body. What's your favorite body part?
I would have to say my legs.
Come on, legs. It's not this magnificent beard.
That's one of, y'all know I'm not conceited or anything, but I really do love me. I really do love me.
You heard him?
I really do. I do. I think that I have a good face.
He say, I'm not conceited or anything, but I love me.
Just convinced.
Hey! Hey!
Did you say I gave him a little face?
Come on, Shonda.
Just convinced.
Just convinced.
It could be a little commercial, a little commercial.
No, I'm not conceited. I'm just convinced.
End scene.
No,
I think it really is my legs. So y'all probably and Sheeta, my cousin, shout out to Sheeta, because she thinks she's so funny. She always be saying that I look like what's that little thing from The Impossibles? I was supposed to say
the
Thor.
daddy.
No, Gru. She be calling me Gru. You know who Gru is? Gru got the little bitty legs, and he is just
yes.
So I think that my legs, 'cause I do have like decent legs, right? So I taper all of my jeans and stuff.
He do got on tape. Y'all
I taper them jeans.
Let the people see that.
You better put that leg up there. You better put it up there. Taper that leg.
Come on, man.
You so silly.
Let's see. Come on, he giving it to you.
Look, little ankles. Them little ankles.
And they not ashy or nothing. Amen.
I got look.
Tell your wife, Jessica.
Girl,
No, I'm
look,
not
I
trying
knew
to.
you was
I'm not. You know.
She in the other. You smell what she cooking?
Hey, I
You-
can't
you
wait.
smell
I need
it.
her rap.
Look, I got my stuff. I was ready for J. Kim because I didn't want her to come up here and say nothing about
Shout
me being
out to
ashy.
Olivia because it keeps King from being.
No. What I want you to do is, you remember this. You remember this, right?
Wait. Why you got the thing?
Beet juice. It keeps the skin tight because none of us are getting any younger.
Where it came from?
You don't know that?
No.
That's Boomerang.
Oh my gosh! Did you take this adult proof here?
I know. I didn't want it to get in my bag.
Oh, I like that.
I got. Thank you. You know, I keep a good bag. You know, I do my little beard and stuff. I have to make sure I was
Is
right.
it grooming? Let me put this back on.
My
Let's
grooming
see.
video is coming, guys. It is already uploaded. I haven't released it yet because we got so many dope stars that's coming through here to do our little show with us.
Hey.
We're already at 44 minutes, y'all. I'm gonna be editing for days.
No, you can do a part 1 and part 2. Go ahead.
We should do a part 1 and part 2.
you
Okay,
go.
all right, boo. Look at that.
So funny. Okay.
All right, cool.
Next.
So not my last question. What is the first thing that you notice on a man?
His teeth and his handshaking and his shoes. It's a lot about a man.
So so what is the deal breaker when you see all of those? Okay, so go into detail. We need to know.
These yellow stained teeth look like jagged edge. They're not gonna work for me. Or you can always have a person floss or don't floss. People see people with that like yellow caked in between their teeth, and it's like, boo, you didn't floss. So if you don't care enough about your teeth to floss, then how you gonna care about me? That means you don't want to kiss me.
So what about his shoes? What happened with his shoes? Did they run
You know,
over?
a man for that's a dusty shoe. I'm flat-footed, so sometimes when I wear flats, my cup runneth over sometimes. But I can't stand no man with no dusty shoe. Like, why your shoe dusty?
Dusty.
Like, you don't do
Please
all this
don't
on that.
follow
And it's not necessarily you got to have, I got to have on this Jordan, or I got to have on this. I like a nice, clean dressed man.
Mm-hmm.
But, a nice shoe that complements what you have on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a highlighter technique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, yeah, I'm looking clean, and ooh, don't look at my shoes. I came in here with some straight COVID flip-flops on.
That's so silly. Oh my goodness. But shoes are a big thing for me because my feet.
Now, they don't have to necessarily be a name brand shoe. You ain't got
Why
to
you
do
had to
business.
say it got to be a name brand shoe?
I just said it
to
have
me?
to be a name. Your baby got a Bentley sitting over here.
Don't tell the people that it's in the shop. Child,
And in the shop.
Shit.
I can't turn the camera. I got a baby Bentley over here.
You are so funny. Yeah, we got to make sure that the shoes is right, y'all. We got to make sure the shoes is right. For me, I'm going to put this in one of our episodes. I don't wear shoes, like, if they loafers or something, like you just saw, they okay. But I usually wear a pointed toe shoe.
Really?
And the reason why I wear a pointed toe shoe is because I'm fat, So I'm a little big, thick, thickums. And so whenever you wear them fat, like diabetic looking shoes, it's a, no.
Before I
No,
became
you don't
a
wear no
little
fat shoes.
heavier, amen, I've been blessed a little bit more. I used to always wear a heel because I'm thick, and then so I walk like a duck. I do, and wearing a heel, it would force me for my feet to come in. Now I just quack all day long.
But yeah, it gives you a more slender like appearance and things like that whenever you wear shoes that are more pointed. Or if you if they're a little bit more flat, like I don't wear like a shoe that has a thick sole. Like it's a whole vibe into everything
Come
that I do.
on now.
Yeah,
You better
yeah.
be strategic.
Oh yeah, I don't wear anything with a thick sole or anything
Strategic.
like that, or anything with a round toe. That's out of there. I'm supposed to be looking like, and then my feet go in sometimes too.
See, like I told you, yeah. See,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yours running over, mine's running thin.
Yours running in, my cup running over. I'm flat feet. Mine is like, whoo. You take that shoe off my feet, be like, yes. Yes.
You are so silly. All right, so this is my last question.
Last question.
So, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Liars. Don't boldface lie to me. Oh, I cannot stand. Just, and you know you lying. And then unnecessary lying. Don't lie to me unnecessary. Oh, especially my
Oh my goodness.
Don't lie. Just tell the truth. You might get more blessings if you tell the truth.
That hallelujah, amen.
But just lie.
Just
Where you
sit
at?
up there just
Now
lying.
see, now this is one lie I don't tell. My friends tell a lie. I'm on the way. I don't tell you I'm on the way.
Girl,
I'm still sitting down in my bedroom lotioning my feet. And I'm thinking about what shoes I'm going to put on before I grab a snack to get in the car and drive.
Y'all, true
But
story.
I will be on my way in 15 minutes.
True story. She texted me this morning talking about I'm on my way. I'm 49 minutes away, but I'm gonna stop by Starbucks too. Oh my goodness!
And then I got lost.
And then you got lost. She said, "What you say? I've been over the river and through the woods."
Oh, because there's a bridge to get over here.
It's over bridges.
I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, we far out. But
But
thank
it's
you for
beautiful.
making that drive. I thank you for making that
For
drive.
you, it's a song says, for you I will. Plus, I missed you.
Come on, Versus.
I want you to know that when this ends, we're going to get in several selfies.
And we're going to be posting it.
Yes, because he needs to post new selfies for my birthday.
Yes, because every year I'll be posting them same little dry pictures.
Okay, they still cute, though.
They was cute. But we need new stuff. We need new footage.
So I just came for the selfies. That's really why I'm here.
You are so funny. Is there anything else you want to share with our social media fans before we log out?
Just believe in yourself, and I will believe in you. No.
I can't take you serious at all.
Nothing beats a failure but a try. I'm not telling all my students that.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, I don't know. Don't do that. If you don't believe in yourself, you've already set yourself up for failure. If you've already told yourself that you can't do it, because you can be your biggest fan, you can also be your own worst enemy. And so if you don't believe in yourself, if you're not your biggest fan, if you're not your biggest coach, why should I believe in you if you don't believe in yourself?
Dang, that's deep. That's deep. So y'all heard it here on the Ugn-b show. I thank you guys so much for giving me all of this love on this channel.
I look forward to sharing it with my friends. I have a friend who's a fitness coach. We'll talk offline. She wanna.
She wanna be on the show?
Yeah.
Shut your mouth wide open and keep on talking.
Oh.
Hey. We're gonna get her on the show, y'all. This show has only been open for 1 week. I launched it on a Monday. I asked the question to my social media followers if they wanted to if I did a show, would they watch it? And it was 100% yeses. And so this was on a Thursday, Friday. I said, okay, well, let me work on my content over the weekend. Y'all, I have booked 4 shows. I have one to do tonight too. 4 shows this week, and so I have more content that I am able to actually distribute out. So it's nothing but a blessing. So thank you guys for supporting.
Living, he loved me.
Hallelujah.
Dying, he saved me. Oh, I'm sorry.
You better sing.
Putting my glasses back on.
But thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. You guys, we drop new videos and new footage every single Thursday. So you guys got to get into it and rate, and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Tell them to come on over here.
Yo. And on social media, I can give you my
your handle. You have to give
my
your handle.
My social media handle.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is KJ Ardison at whatever.
At KJ Ardison.
At KJ Ardison.
We're gonna put it up. We're gonna put it below. We're gonna put it right her. That's where we're gonna put it. But thank you guys so much. Y'all have been a blessing, and we love y'all for watching. All right, give me some and peace out.
Peace out.
It's just somebody's fat boy sweat.